because I don't want to, and I already got up to get tea. So I feel like I don't want it, and I feel like I feel like I don't want it is a good reason.
That is the only reason that's truly needed. Oh fuck! I got the wrong sheet. Okay, let me just. That is also the wrong sheet. That is also the wrong sheet. It's somewhere around here. Where is it?
It's like you're about to tell me about my heart medication.
Oh, am I? Oh, fuck. Yeah, you only really need to take it once a day, otherwise you will die. Unless you're looking to become a resident of the morgue, then do as you will.
What if I want my heart to beat twice as fast, though?
Well, you know what? We have some residency space within the morgue. Please feel free.
Noted.
Alright, are we ready to rumble?
Yeah.
Alrighty. First time chatter asking me to add them on Discord. That's cringe, bro.
Wow.
That's so cringe.
Gotta add someone on Discord? Fuck.
Get banned. Get banned. Cringe, bro. Alrighty. So, last time when we were all hanging out together, it was like a month ago, bros. What the fuck? Tensions were very high, as you guys had to have a very a very important conversation. One that had to happen, and we were kind of just putting off between, killing Elazar and everything else that had happened. You guys talked about your futures and what you plan to do when it involving the gods and the cult and your next sort of plan of this. You guys quickly noted that your visions did not align. Zareth ended up storming off for a bit, taking Seska with him, and the rest of you kind of agreed to go to Vesper, but let him know that, where you were and how to find. You guys know how to find each other. You have literally phones to contact each other if you have to. All right. So, it's the next day, I believe. Rypley, Holly, and Ramsey, you guys are in Vesper, and you showed up and you decided to stay the night with Noctis at Ramsey's sort of family home. Meanwhile, Zareth, you returned to Nimith, finding that everybody was there, but Seska was with you. And you had Seska with you. It's the next morning, Zareth. I'm starting with Zareth. Sorry, guys, you have to wait. Zareth, you wake up the next morning. The Jaeger Hall does provide you a breakfast, as they always do. What is your plan as you kind of come to?
Well, need info. So gonna track it down. We have 2 cult members that are currently in prison. So I'm gonna go after the one that probably has the most information in Linares.
Alright, you're gonna head to Linares?
That is the plan.
All right,
yeah.
Give me 1 second, because Steven's name is Quinn is misnamed myself, and I didn't realize that. That's just because we had Ben on last time. That's my bad. How do I...
Yo, Quinn, you had a name change? Shit, sorry, let me call you myself.
My bad. Hold on, let me change that back super fast. Um, I promise that wasn't on purpose. That was just like, I genuinely forgot. I love a head cold. It's so silly and goofy like that, you know?
So silly and goofy. Of course, of course.
So silly and goofy like that. Alright. There we go. We're done. It's fine. Easy enough. You have been to Lunaris, and so has Seska, so you don't need to tire yourself out. Seska will, in fact, insist that he is the one who teleports you. So you guys get up, you have breakfast, and you guys teleport to the city of Lunaris. It's quite beautiful in the mornings. The city is mostly made out of kind of like crystals and glass. They kind of reflect the sort of the soft light around. It's a very colorful city. Magical, even. I mean, it is one of the hubs of magic here. And, well, to be fair, you haven't actually been in the city all that much. I'm trying to think here. You haven't been in the city all that much.
Nope.
Not at all, really. So I'm trying to figure out where to put you. It makes sense for you guys to be teleported kind of around the outskirts of town. Around where the large manors are. Oh, there goes my voice. And especially this early in the morning, there's a couple people kind of going back and forth. You're a little ways from the Erengard estate at this point. In this early in the morning, you can kind of see the city in the distance. And you and Seska kind of appear relatively close to it. The fact that this is a last time you saw Seska, Seska and one of Quinn's mothers seemed to know each other and be kind of quite good friends. So it's not a surprise he chose to teleport here, where it'd be quieter than in the middle of the city's mess. Especially since he's technically not supposed to be Seska right now. He's in disguise. By that I mean he looks exactly like he normally does, except for he's human, I say with the biggest quotation marks I can.
Yes, a believable human,
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
just a common dude.
Human of humans.
Mm-hmm. He's just a common dude in fine gold silks. Just a commoner. Adventurer, even. Yeah, Seska tries his best. But you guys, as you guys kind of appear just out in the outskirts of Lunaris, Seska kind of asks, okay, sorry, just so we're clear, if you plan on speaking to Crown, how do you plan on going to speak to him?
I think he raises the finger like he's got a really well thought out plan, opens his mouth, nothing comes out.
Great. That might be something we have to figure out before we go in there.
I mean, we could try the diplomatic approach of just going through the front door. I hear what's right in books.
Uh-huh. That's surely... Mm-hmm. You see, I could use my diplomatic status, except for the fact that I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't use that, actually.
Exactly.
That means I have to use my rogue skills.
No, I was gonna offer a second option. I have some friends here, and she might be able to help us get in.
By friends, do you mean the Iron Gods? Because I'm not exactly on good terms with them.
Okay. It's just because you and Quinn had a little bit of an argument.
Maybe.
Please. We'll just pop in for a quick tea. Ask if they'll help us talk to a convicted criminal. And you know what? We'll see what happens.
Oh, and hear me out. I passed my luck.
Seraph, I'm not gonna allow you to go in there and get yourself killed. You are just one person. If it was, your entire group, I would say maybe. Then you might have a chance. I don't think you could take on a whole city, though. Respectfully.
Wouldn't have to take on the whole city. You just have to take on him. How hard can one guy on house arrest be?
Well, if all of the guards and the people who work under him would probably still be there.
And then I discreetly make my escape.
Zareth, when have you ever done anything discreetly?
It could happen.
Name one time. One time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Luca's rescue. That was great.
Barely.
That still counts.
If I remember correctly, didn't someone set off fireworks or an explosion of some kind as you were making your way out?
It wasn't me.
No, I believe it was, myself, actually. But... or Quinn. Whatever. Needless to say, I think you have a better chance asking for help.
That's my least favorite thing to do. Fine. Well, tea couldn't possibly hurt.
Alright, let's go. And he kind of takes your hand, and the two of you kind of begin to walk towards the Erengard estate. Now, Quinn. Hi, bestie. It's been a while. You've been up to some stuff ever since everybody was talking about, what they were going to do with the gods and their plans. You took a bit of an initiative to try and find a solution. And admittedly, with the help of Fate and BB, you were able to make it out of Nimith, and you traveled back, kind of backwards, to a couple of places that you had been before. You went through Khorzam, Crossstone, and Dora. Eventually you made your way back to Lunaris, where the main church for Musa is. Musa, sorry. The main temple of Celeste is in Lunaris. Sorry. Musa is in Khorzam. But, unrelated. My bad. The main temple of Celeste is here. But, between kind of going from place to place, you really hadn't had a time to stop and rest. But of course, being in Lunaris, your mothers would always be happy to have you back. You stayed here for the night, said hi to Damien, and the two of you this early in the morning, you kind of wake up to have breakfast. How is Quinn feeling? What are you getting up to? My Wi-Fi is about to cut out. Okay, that's not great. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're good. Just on, I've got yellow bar. I've got a red connection bar on my end, and that is not pretty to look at. So
Love that.
I know. So I just wanted to make sure I'm here. Okay. Anyway, Quinn, what are you up to, bestie?
Yeah, I think Quinn's just been a little all over the place working on his little personal task, personal research into the issue at hand. I think he just like happened to find himself here in Lunaris and just ended up coming home for like a couple days to like take a breather. So I think he's mostly just been
I
relaxing
mean,
while
it
he's
hasn't been a
home.
couple of days. Like, you probably just got in, like, the night prior, so you've been here for maybe 8 hours at most.
Yes,
Because,
I do mean the plan was to just be here for like a couple of days.
yeah, okay, the plan is, yeah, okay, I got it. Sorry. I misunderstood what you said. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And you
That's
wake,
all. That's all good.
there you go. You wake up in the morning, you sit down for, and there's kind of like a sort of eggs Benedict kind of breakfast prepared for you, and Damien's kind of sat across the table, kind of like nose deep in a book at the moment. When you guys hear you hear like a knock on the door, and Zephyrus, one of your mothers, kind of gets up. That's right, Zephyrus, right? Or Zephyr?
I think it's just Zephyr.
Zephyr?
Let me
Okay.
double check the backstory because I'm pretty sure it's just Zephyr, but
All right, I'll go with
yeah, it's just
Zephyr.
Zephyr.
It's been a little bit. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit. And I wasn't planning on you guys coming to
Oh,
Lunaris.
good.
This was a decision that was made like 20 minutes ago. I haven't had time to research. It's fine. Zephyr kind of goes. She gets up and she's just like, "I'll get it. Just give me." Gets up, goes and opens the door. And immediately you hear her go, "Seska, what are you doing here?" And Seraph and Seska kind of immediately goes in. And Seska says, "Well, I was wondering if we could stop in for tea. Seraph and I had some business in town and was wondering if maybe if you'd be willing to lend us a hand." And Quinn, you are overhearing this conversation. You know, it's a big open house. You hear this.
He's just listening. So quiet for now.
Oh, fair enough. Zephyr immediately, she's like, "Oh, of course, come in. We were just having a little bit of a late breakfast. Would you like some toast, eggs?" She kind of says that to kind of both you as well, to you, Zareth, as well. As she kind of steps aside.
I'm all right. Thanks.
All right. Just tea then. Come join us. And immediately, she kind of leads you back to the main sort of dining parlor, with Quinn. And meet your mother, unaware of what your last conversation was like. Immediately looks to you, Quinn, and just goes, "Look, your friend came by. You didn't tell us why it was just you traveling, but look, your friend Zareth is back." She kind of waves you guys over to come sit down. So Zareth and Quinn.
Try to keep this brief.
Pardon?
I'll try to keep this brief, and I'll let you return to your breakfast. There's been a man here on house arrest whose information that I need to continue working. Is there any chance you can arrange for an audience?
Well, that depends on the man.
I'll give you 2 guesses. Surely not everyone here in Lunaris is on house arrest.
Okay. So you're talking about a crown.
Mm-hmm. The very same.
At least sit down and have a drink. It's customary with our family when discussing business.
Right. Noble. Thanks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very familiar. Okay.
You can sit down, and you both are served just a nice cup of tea. And Zephyr kind of goes, can I ask why you want to speak to him? Aside from
How much do you know?
I know he had some dark dealings with some shady types. The cults.
Do you want me
of Shadow.
to attempt to word this eloquently, or do you want me to be blunt?
Be as casual as you want.
Very well. Yes, he has deep connections with a cult that is currently leading towards the end of the world. So,
The end of the...
he has information that could possibly put a stop to that, so that's what I'm trying to get. That could prolong the end.
The end of the world.
Yeah.
She kind of looks to you, Quinn. Did you know about this?
The world, or that there was a cultist in town connected to it?
Both. All of it. Yes.
Well, the business I was on that led me here is connected in a different manner. I don't remember out of character if I was around for the conversation about there being a cultist in Lunaris.
That was yes. That was part of like when everybody was talking to Yezer, and then he pointed out people on a map.
Mm.
So yeah, you were there for that. I think Quinn was there, but I don't think Steven was there. But I think Quinn was canonically there. Sorry.
The cultist I'd heard something about, but I didn't have the most information or conversation about such a person.
And the end of the world? That's just like a light thing we're talking about now?
Well, again, it is related to the business I was on in town as well.
Okay. We've got a timeline if you want to hear it, but most people prefer to be ignorant. Which I wish I could be the same.
Okay. Right. So, getting you information with this crown individual potentially could make it so the world does not end, I assume? The best?
No, yes and no. It buys us time.
Okay. Does that mean the world will not end? Does he have, like, information? Or...
Yes, he has information that could prove useful in prolonging the end of the world. So, in theory, if we acquire that knowledge, we can apply it in a proper way and buy ourselves some time to look for a longer-term solution.
So you're only working for short-term solutions right now. Okay.
Well, we don't have a lot of time to begin with, so if we can buy ourselves more time, then we can then look for
okay, but what's your
solution.
long game plan of this saving the world thing?
Look for a long-term solution.
So you don't have one yet?
Yes and no.
That's not an answer.
It's what I've got.
What I recall, we have information that can delay it, and information on the names and whereabouts of people who may have a more permanent solution that we're trying to get the information from.
Okay, and I'm assuming Crown is one of those individuals.
One of them.
Okay. Right, and... Listen... Last I heard... Crown, to try and save his image somewhat, signed a pledge with the church here, or at least one of them in the city, to try and save face of some sort. He, when he was arrested, it was this whole public scandal, and shortly after he was put under arrest, he started, saying things like, the stars were showing him the way, and honestly, I think he went mad. He either went mad or he's trying to, gain the sympathy of a god. So, we'll see.
Well, that's troublesome. Which god? Do we even want to know?
If I had to guess, if it's not Saloon, it would be Celeste. But
Son of a bitch.
you got a problem with Saloon?
Oh, no. Saloon is fine, I guess. It's, the other one. A problem.
Okay. So the gods are an issue now. Okay. That's fine. Not the first time.
No. Look, properly ascended gods are fine. Ones that have not been properly ascended are also low-key causing the end of the... I don't want to really get into this. This is
right,
a lot of
no,
information.
this is a lot of information, I understand. Okay, I understand. Okay. Okay, I know someone who might be able to get you an audience with him. Though it will have to be under surveillance of the guards, and, it will have to be under surveillance, which means you will just have to be careful with your words. He's under arrest. He's under surveillance 24/7. They can't just make him not under surveillance for a short period of time. It's not... I can't promise that. I could try to ask, but I can't promise anything.
Worth a shot.
The only people... Though, from what I've heard, the only people who see him unsupervised, aside from his own family, are the holy men, or the clerics and such who come to treat him. Not that he needs treating, but...
Clerics. And if one wanted to hypothetically get a hold of one of their robes, where would they look?
Probably the church.
Noted.
I'm gonna pretend like I don't know what you're planning. I'll see if I can get you an audience.
Appreciate it.
But you'll have to wait a little bit. Things take time. But feel free to stick around for a couple of hours. Our library is open to you. I believe you saw it last time you were here. And actually, Damien's become quite a librarian while he's been here. And Damien, who hears his name, just kind of looks up and is like, "Huh? What? Yes. I was listening."
I 100% believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Very convincing.
You don't need my help, right?
No.
Cool.
No.
Yeah.
Continue what you were.
Wait, if you're... Is Ramsey okay? He looks at the two of you and then realizes that
fine.
the team's not here. He's like, damn. The accent. I don't remember his accent. What's his accent? Jegg.
You don't remember his
Oh,
accent,
the accent.
Caleb?
You
You do not remember his accent.
Sorry. I
Okay.
have to rip off you, okay? That's fine.
have to rip
I just
me off,
forgot
okay.
I forgot his accent. Leave me alone. I'm
And
tired.
I'm
I'm
going
sick
to
of
do
Jegg, I'm
that.
sick and tired. None of my
Okay,
characters
fine.
are gonna have accents today. I can do British barely. Oh, sorry. To sip my tea. Yeah. Yeah, Damien's just like, okay. I'm not... Okay. Chill. Yeah, he kind of looks like... He gets a sense that something's up, but he doesn't say anything. It just kind of goes back to his book. But yeah.
Everything is up. Everything is fine.
Nope. Zephyr. There we go. Too many Z names. It kind of gets up after she finishes her breakfast and says, I'm gonna go make some calls for you. The two of you, feel free to stay here if you decide to head into town. I'll message you, Quinn. Quinn has a spell phone, right? No. Great. When she says she'll
Not
message,
officially, at least.
when she
can
says
now.
when she's you could get one now. Happy birthday. No, I'm kidding. When she says she'll message you, she'll like message you by the spell message. She'll be like, I'll message you when I get a response. So just I'll let you know. Which leaves you guys basically able to do whatever you want. If you guys wanted to go do more research, there's a library, a pretty extensive library on magic and, magic, just generally magic and some god stuff there, if you wanted to look into it, at just your family's library. There's also a bigger one in the city itself, if you wanted to go to a library, do research. But if you just want to wait out and try to go see Crone, or if the two of you want to...
Research does sound good. I gotta start looking into different domain, how to separate it from the mortal domain, so I'll get on that.
And what about you, Quinn?
So if I assume you're going with research? Because I'm assuming that wasn't said in character.
It was not said in character. Believe it or not, I actually sound sick. It's not a funny voice.
I know. I was just double checking.
Zara,
Make sure I
Zara
wasn't
woke
asking
up with a
something
head
redundant.
cold.
It's not the end of the world if I don't stop it. Like it's gonna be fine.
It's not the end of the world it's not the end of the world if the world ends, right, guys? I need a little bit of a nap.
Yes, Quinn is...
I'm a different hero.
All right.
Quinn is assuming and asking that Zareth is going to do research.
Yes. Because reading books for pleasure is not a real thing. No, actually, yes, I am planning on doing research.
Then you might need to know where the larger library is.
I figured it was the giant circular building that had a fuck ton of books inside, but if you're offering to lead me to the library, I will
Might be helpful to catch up, exchange information, and such.
I says, yeah, you've been gone longer from that party than I have.
I was curious as to what caused you to show up alone.
Really? I thought it was obvious.
Anyways, should we go?
Yeah, lead the way.
All right. And the two of you begin to go to the library. We are at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to kind of star wipe here and go to Vesper. I'm assuming in that time... well, actually, hold on. Since... No, pause. I'm deciding how I want to do this. Never mind. Yeah, I'll star wipe here. We'll get back to that, and then I'll make you explain your shit when we get back to you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Alright. In Vesper, boop, 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 everybody wakes up in the morning. There is no table or breakfast prepared for you. So you kind of just have to fend for yourself. The kitchen's open, but you kind of get the sense that, like, Noctis basically made himself, like, a piece of toast and then, like, fucked off. You saw him for, like, a couple seconds in the morning, and he had just, like, went back to his office and, you saw him for a bit, but... So the three of you can kind of get up and try to make yourself breakfast. I say try because Ramsey's in the room. But yeah, what do the three of you want to get up to in the morning?
I think Ramsey, late last night, did some moving of stuff around in his bedroom. Taking a look at it in the morning, the mattress is not quite where it's supposed to be. There is what once I held one of his first swords on the wall. That sort of stand has been moved to the ground. It's a bit of a mess. It's very clear that he's been pacing a bit. That said, he steps out into the hall looking like whatever nerves he had, he left them in that room. And I'd say he's probably looking for Noctis. We don't have to go to that right away, but, the others can actually make breakfast.
All right.
Ramsey has a blood test, so
Yeah.
we'll see whether or not he's allowed to eat before or after that.
You can eat before it. It doesn't. Noctis doesn't.
No coffee, please.
Right. Probably head to the kitchen if that's where the others are.
Yeah, you guys can meet up in the kitchen. The food in there is sparse. It seems like Noctis only has like the bare basics, like milk, bread, some like cheese scrap. It's very much like a college guy who just moved into his dorm.
He doesn't
he's got
have time to
a couple
he
things
doesn't
of
have time to
leftovers.
get groceries. He gets takeout.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it's like
God.
it's like a couple boxes of like stuff that you could kind of tell that maybe somebody else made him that is still in the fridge from a while ago. There's like
There's bags
a
on the
mysterious-
ground that say Wendigos.
yeah, there's like a mysterious like kind of soggy paper bag in the fridge. It's like the sort of extravagant kitchen that your parents used to have. Ramsey has been overtaken by Noctis, who just does not seem to care about this space. He at least threw out the food before it rot, or he ate it. You're not sure. So nothing's rotting in there, but it's very like sparse.
He ate the rotten food.
He ate the food
Ramsey
before it rot. God.
Stares and lets out a bit of a before looking to the others.
I mean, I usually get my own breakfast these days. I could always. Anyone want rabbit? That was a joke.
Yeah. I'm going to grow like a bunch of bananas and oranges and just sort of basic fruits. And if there's not a bowl readily available, I will make a bowl. It's just a little wood bowl.
Yeah,
and I'll
you
just
can
kinda-
you can find a bowl. Like
Okay.
all of the Novak's like utensils and stuff. It's basically like it's mainly just food that has been like cleared out of this place. It still
Does-
looks like the Novak's house. Like nothing has been moved.
Right.
It's just like things that would rot and spoil, and like the fact that this fridge used to be always packed of your mother's cooking and stuff. It's just gone, completely emptied. Oh, actually, if it was your mother's cooking, yeah, that thing was emptied and not eaten. Yeah, you guys know about that, right? Yeah, that's been canonically talked about. Okay, we're good.
Does Holly grow any prunes?
Any moon prunes?
Yeah, I mean moon prunes.
I mean, yeah, Holly will grow like one or two, and then kind of stop herself, and then just grow like an orange for herself, and just kind of take that and start peeling it, and to look to make sure that everyone else also is just grabbing at least something to eat, at least something. And if they are, then Holly will sort of just wander outside to start. She's gonna do some shooting practice to start the day off, because she doesn't have much else to do right now. So she's gonna go to the range. I mean, you can stop her if you want.
Yeah. Ramsey follows Holly on her way.
Hey, I just wanted to check in. Are you doing okay?
Well, as good as you can be right now, I suppose. Not much else to really do.
Right.
I kind of just want to visit home or something. I still really want to check out that observatory, but I mean, I think it's important, at least.
We will. Very soon. I'm sure that when we can regroup with the others, it would make the most sense to just, we tied up a loose end here, we'll tie up one there, and then we will go. We will see your grandmother, we'll see the observatory.
No, I'm saying as in the observatory is one of the loose ends we need to tie up.
Yes.
That one...
Yes.
Saying... I was directly told by my grandpa, or at least not directly, but I was told through notes that it's very important that we, get good maintenance of that place. And I don't know how bad it's looking right now. And I don't know if that's also contributing to, the world having a very short lifespan.
Yes. I will vote to go there next.
Yeah. I think we do need to go visit Oof or whatever. Head there. Do that stuff first. But
You say that, and immediately Ramsey, tenses up.
why? What, you good? Do you have a murder record there? Are you a criminal there?
Probably, Toof is where I lived before. I mean, with Felix.
I see.
I still have,
We can go visit, I suppose.
I don't.
Don't worry. We'll wait. We'll wait for Zareth.
He still hasn't picked up the phone for me. I mean, he will. We'll see if it's an emergency, but not to talk to us. Not really. It's.
Hey, both of us know how he is. We're both sadly in love with that man, and he can be a bit of a crybaby sometimes.
I did not say.
I love him dearly for it. It's one of his quirks. Just gotta get it out of his system. Do something on his own, He'll get to it soon enough. I have faith of that. He may be a very proud man, but he's still a man of his word. Heal out.
You're right about that, yes. I appreciate the reassurance. Okay. Well,
Go hunting.
What?
Are you gonna go hunting today? Is that what you're doing up so early?
I mean, yes, I have to. I feel like it's going to be a long day, since I have to work very closely with Noctis. Things are better than they were, but
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with your day.
Yeah. I would. Holly immediately stops herself before finishing that thought. And thanks to the conversation you had back a little while back. Actually, never mind. Never mind. Forget about that. I'll bring that up later.
Insight check.
Yeah, roll insight because I, as the GM, don't know what Liz is referring to.
I have a thought.
I don't have any thoughts, and maybe that's because I'm ill,
we
but
know.
that's fine.
It's okay, buddy.
All right, no, like
22.
I can decipher. Okay, I just have to get.
You
I
have
have to get-
disadvantage
I have
on
to-
this, by the way.
I have
because
disadvantage.
you-
I just have to
you
roll either a
cannot
19 or a
claim
20 on both of them. Okay. Okay.
all right,
Oh,
hey.
nice.
Oh, that's a shame.
Damn.
Okay.
Uh. Holly was gonna bring up something about a drink she wanted to make you, but then you could tell she remembered the conversation she had with you, and was like, maybe not the best time for that.
Yeah.
It was. Do you want to know? Do you really want to know?
Oh, it's fine. Okay, it's okay.
I just thought a Bloody Mary with my blood would actually taste kind of good, but
Oh, that
don't worry
is-
about it. Because I mean,
Ugh.
like it has like the tomato. Don't actually.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah,
Okay, it's funny.
It tastes good. All right. Because I mean, you said you're gonna have a hard. I'm gonna, and Holly's gonna pull out her blue gun out of her hair and just make it into a gun, and then just start wandering a bit further into the woods to start practicing.
All right.
Ramsey walks in the opposite direction with his crossbow.
All
He's
right.
smiling a little bit.
I hope one of us gets a nat 1 and shoots across, and
Both
it
of
just
you-
beams
so
the other.
Are both of you hunting?
Yeah, I mean,
For sure.
me to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, go for
Mhm.
it. Both of you roll survival checks, because that's what it is. Ripley, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Because I'm assuming you're out there training as well, so you're gonna come
No,
across.
I'm going into the city.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. We'll get to you in a second then. I want to see these rolls first.
Mhm.
I assumed that you were out training. That's my bad. Survival.
Mhm.
Holly, you know exactly where the prey are. You shoot a couple of rabbits, and Ramsey, you are able to find like a rabbit, and you're pretty proud of yourself. Like normally that's good, but then Holly comes back with like 3 in hand, and the gun is just a lot more efficient than the crossbow. You start to realize.
Hey, question.
Hey, yeah, what's up?
I don't really have. I mean, I was just wondering. You're pretty good with the whole shooting thing, and I've been practicing my shooting, but that is like stellar work. If you maybe had like, a,
And he's kind of sheepish about it.
if you had a backup like revolver or something, I could
I mean, it couldn't transform at all. It would just be a gun. It'd just be like a, like a 6-shoot or something. But it could probably make something. Yeah, I think I could do that.
Okay. Cool.
You know how to
cool.
use a gun at all?
Yes. Remember that time we were in the woods with Ripley, and Ripley had the hunting rifle, and I'm like, I know how to use the gun. I learned from my dad. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Also, Caleb, I did want to I did want to check with it to see if I could get. Because I'm still training for proficiency with hunting rifles.
Oh, are you?
God.
I thought you got that one. Hold on, let me check. Let me check.
I
this
still
thing.
have not gotten that one yet.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me open it. I'll add this to one success then, if you would like. I'm okay with that. Give me a sec. I've got to look at where you are though, because I don't know. Respectfully, I didn't do that research before this session. I didn't think it was. I didn't think
It's
it would be
okay.
a training
It's okay,
session.
but you were asleep.
I was not asleep. I was making chicken noodle soup.
That's the same thing. You're rest, sleep, whatever.
Same thing. Womp womp. All right, training. Let's see. Training. You only have 1 success with gun, so I'll give you another success. There you go.
Only one.
Yeah, I guess you just haven't done it as often.
feel like I've done it quite a bit. Whatever. I'll think about that later.
If you, maybe, but that's just what I have written down.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'll deal with that later. Yeah, I'll see if I can make something. And Holly will go into like one of the cellars and sort of just hang up the rabbits to like well first like let them bleed out in the kitchen and then later into a bowl specifically for Ramsey.
Oh
And
god.
then-
So
what? You gotta let the blood out of the meat, otherwise it's gonna be. Alright, whatever.
No, the fact that you said for Ramsey was just. I mean, I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. I'm
It's
gonna dump
funny.
on your head when you get crowned prom queen. What do you think it's for?
God.
all right,
Mm.
Ripley, you're heading off into the city. What are you looking for? What are you up to?
Is there any form of like a place that sells scrolls or some kind of church? It doesn't. It literally does not matter which one.
There is something that looks like a church in town, but it is boarded up and closed. As
Okay.
for a place that would sell scrolls, there is like a small magic shop, but it's not as they could probably sell you fairly basic scrolls, but nothing like complex or like very high level. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for regenerate.
They probably would not be able to sell you a scroll of regenerate here. That is a little bit much. I will tell you this: if you head into the town, they kind of mentioned that there are some clerics that probably could help you, with that spell, but when you're kind of pointed in the direction, you realize the clerics that they're talking about are all Lycan folk. The Vesperians themselves don't have any clerics anymore. So you'd have to get
Damn.
something through Lycan folk if you wanted something.
Whatever.
more.
This will have to do.
But,
I mean,
yeah,
as long as
you-
they're up in the
you're-
city, it's fine. I don't have to go far.
Oh yeah, no, there are clerics in the city, but yeah, no, there are clerics in the city that can help you with something like that if you need them for later. But however, they don't have any scrolls prepared at the moment, and also the Lycanfolk clerics are kind of hesitant to sell to you if you try to go and ask. I wonder why.
Okay, well, how much effort would it take?
Effort? Make me some.
Like I will.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay. Natural 20.
I'll say, yeah, you find a Lycanfolk cleric in town, an older woman, and she will make you a scroll. It'll be ready by the end of the day, but it will cost you, let's say, how much? We'll say 3,000 gold.
How much do I have?
3,000.
So you-
3,000. We'll say 3,000 gold pieces. Is that okay? Because it is a high level spell. Oh, yeah, natural 20 though. That is on the cheap side.
I was looking at my platinum to say that 500 wouldn't be enough to not use gold. Okay.
Yeah, 3,000 gold. So that'd be what, 30 platinum? I think. Is that right?
I don't. Cause I have one platinum is 10 gold. I have 500. So that's more like the wolf than. I don't.
My brain is not mathin'.
I'll just do it in gold. I just thought that I would be able. That I
Yeah, it would
may
be 30. It would be 30. It would be 30 platinum. Yeah, because 30 times 10 is 3,000.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Do they have any kind of a reaction to it specifically being me?
You could tell that she does have a reaction to seeing you, but it's stifled, and she's trying her best to be as polite. And she's treating you like a customer, not like a prince. She is very polite to you when she talks to you. She does offer up her things, and she gives you a fairly good price for it, especially when you kind of talk to her for a bit. Even in conversing into in Lycan folk. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't point anything out, but you kind of get the sense that she knows who you are.
In the actual city, town, whatever, are there a lot more? Is it even, or is it mostly?
I'd say in Vesper right now, the population is like a 50-50 split between Drow and Lycan folk right now. It's odd, honestly. I think Vesperians do take slightly more, so maybe it's more like 60-40, but it's fairly even, which is odd.
I will. After that, I'm just gonna spend most of the day just walking around.
Fair enough. Okay. I guess we can probably cut that there, and we'll return. Since I think I can get the Quinn and Zareth thing done quickly, we'll return to Ramsey's thing shortly. So back in Lunaris, Starwipe. Zareth and Quinn, you guys are walking down the road, making your way towards the sort of general library. God, this place had a name. Give me a second. I remember. I did put some effort into this city. I can't find it right now. I don't really care to. Okay. So, Zareth and Quinn. The two of you kind of, make your way towards the library. Quinn, do you want to kind of tell Zareth what you've been up to? What you've found so far?
Remember what I found so far because I'm pretty sure we talked about it in DMs, but
you can read off of what I sent you if you want, or I can try to explain it. I don't know, either way. I gave it to you so you would have information.
I think it would be best if you, because I'm not sure what parts I would read out loud from our DMs and what part is more like above table stuff.
I guess that is mostly above table stuff. Dude, where is the thing I sent you? Oh, there it is. Alright, so basically, what you learned was a little bit of what everybody else has already currently learned. That, you know, ascending gods and killing... In order to ascend gods, you kind of have to treat them with sort of an opposing force of their domain. So like in the example we have, Jaeger, the god of the hunt, needs to be hunted. But what Quinn, what you've also learned on your journeys is that like killing the gods themselves will not remove their presence from the world. It'll just simply shift the dynamics of the material plane. You know, which could mean like, you know, killing Musa won't destroy the concept of music from the world, but it might kill the inspiration of music. You know, like destroying Celeste might, you know, actually that might have more catastrophic details, but that's fine. But also there's no idea of how to, I don't know. Oh God, I am not in like mentally here to be talking about my lore enough. That's fine. A lot of it is information that Zareth you already know. But I think hearing that deities can only be destroyed by being faced with what they oppose might be useful information for you as you guys make it to the library. At the library, what specifically are you guys looking into researching for more additional information?
Zareth is looking into domains separated from the mortal plane.
Mm-hmm. Just for funsies and because I want you to roll a dice, go ahead, make an investigation check for me.
Aye.
Quinn, do you want to help? Do you want to give him advantage?
I'm gonna look for something slightly different.
Alright.
That's unfortunate. That's a 14.
I'll give you this. There are, to the knowledge of most people in this world, who mainly research the divine or magic in general. They know currently of six planes that exist outside of the material plane. That being the four elemental planes, the Shadowfell, and what is only kind of sort of spoken about as like I guess it's like the divine. It's sort of the opposite of the Shadowfell. It's a place of light, and that is where the gods and sort of reside. And then off of the divine plane, each god has their own subplane. That's kind of how it works. Like it's like a web of sorts. That's kind of how it's described. You would know that Bahamut somehow has the power to can move entire cities into different planes. It was first thought that he brought the dragons to the divine plane, but was later found out that he actually just brought them to the elemental plane of air. So he didn't even really bring them where he promised to bring them, but it was close enough, I guess. There's more information on the Shadowfell, which is currently being ruled over by the sort of the Shadow Lord Yezer. opening rifts to different planes that currently exist is easy enough. In fact, it is so simple that there are, well, powerful wizards, but there are mortals that have done it and have traversed the planes. Not many, but some have. And it's an easy enough skill to do. But to create a plane altogether, you would need godlike power.
Alright, yeah. Thanks, Derek. Just make a mental note. Like, yeah, or later.
Yeah. Quinn, what are you researching?
I want to look through the history section, essentially. I'm looking for if there's any previous events in the world of something similar happening with the presence of gods causing catastrophes.
You want me to talk about the first calamity? Oh man, this is my favorite topic. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of books about this thing. So what the first calamity?
Basically, there's few specific questions that Quinn is trying to find answers to. So I was looking for, like, what gods were involved, and like what happened to them, if they were ascended or if they were killed. And it kind of like that focus of, were they ascended, were they killed?
Okay.
Is there like proof of like their
yes.
personalities changing upon ascension, or
okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to get details on the personality of the gods, but what you do learn is before the first calamity, there was a time when the gods lived amongst, like, on the world amongst the mortals. That's where a lot of the a lot of the sort of folklore sort of tales and stories of the sort of major gods kind of come from that sort of time. Liz, please don't make Among Us jokes when I'm talking about autism. But there's a there was a time when the gods did live with, like, amongst the humans, and they my bad, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. And during that time of the world, there was no destruction because, well, the gods were kind of in a piece of harmony. They all got along and there wasn't an issue. That was until, the dragons specifically started getting a little bit more powerful. This was around the time when Bahamut and Yezer, the two dragon gods, started getting more and more powerful. Their followers started to, instead of following them, began to worship them, and thus kind of turned them into gods. And the addition of these two new gods in the realm caused chaos to begin to break out amongst the world. And in this time, there's a... Okay, I'm sorry I don't have a list, but there were other gods before the calamity in which perished during the calamity. There was a time when the gods themselves seemed to be at war. Everything was chaotic and uncertain. Mortals were fighting mortals, dragons fighting dragons, and gods fighting gods, all of the above. All of that was happening. And many, many gods perished. Specifically, I'm saying, like, vanished or perished. It is, a lot of the wording does not say that these gods died, because a lot of the gods that did die are, like, the god of the wind, the old god of hunting. In fact, hey, fun fact, there was a god of hunting before Jegg. I don't have a name for him, but it wasn't Jegg. There was a god of specifically farming and kind of like had a grain motif, who perished. And these gods, some of them, well, all of the major gods that you know, Desma, Paylor, Saloon, all of those gods seem to have been the ones that successfully ascended to this divine godhood, and that's what keeps them in power and have a presence over Caldera and the world at large. And that sort of ascension is what kept them safe from this calamity. Because when the world and this sort of apocalyptic event was happening, not even the gods could save themselves. And so a lot of them died, perished. But their domains did not. And I guess specifically, with the sort of the old god of the hunt comparing to the new god, Jegg, there's probably a lot of similarities. Though the old god of the hunt had more of like a Robin Hood sort of aesthetic and wasn't like the sort of wild god that Jegg is now. They don't seem to be the same person or the same god from the limited times you've spoken to or been near Jegg, Quinn. But the idea that there is an essence that never truly dies, which kind of follows up in that research that you were doing before. But the records of the records of the gods who did ascend, their personality, I guess, doesn't seem to have changed much, if at all, compared to before they ascended versus after. How they were seen was not changed at all. I don't know. Does that...
on the personal quest?
Yeah. It doesn't appear that there's any sort of changes amongst the old gods, but the new ones, the newer gods. But there was like an old god of like music and love, who perished, and now we have Musa. And there's a couple similarities, but once again, there's not enough to say that they're like, it's like two people having the same first name, you know? But they're completely different people, is kind of what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Any more questions? Any more lore dumps you want me to make? Anything else you're researching? Zareth, Quinn?
Nah, just looking into how to make a separate domain. Need a backup plan.
Need to call Yezer. Do you want to try to contact Yezer while you're in the library?
You know what? Why not? Give it a shot.
You do have Raven's number, right? Oh, sorry.
I do.
Which one? Yeah, it's you who has Raven's number, right? So it's like one of you has it, and I don't remember who. One of you has it, though.
Nah, I got it.
Actually, I might not let you call him yet, because that actually might be a longer conversation.
Exactly.
Keep it in mind though. We'll circle back to that.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that. In the meantime, hi Ramsey. You have something you have to do today. You have a doctor's appointment. Jegg. Jeggy.
Jegg went away.
Jegg went away. Jegg's dead.
He, like,
Jegg's
formed
gone
his
now.
skeleton.
Jegg. Jegg's gone. Jegg's dead. Bye, Jegg.
They took too much blood.
You dead? Where? Where at? Oh. Domain extended image. Alright.
Domain expansion, Imagine Dragons?
That's
Excellent.
kind of sick. That's just like a JoJo stand.
Honestly, I would imagine those dragons.
Yeah.
In a gay way. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, cringe. Anyway,
Yes.
you have to go meet up with Noctis.
Oh, I love meeting up with Noctis. He's my favorite guy.
You know that Noctis kind of is in his office. He didn't seem particularly keen on socializing with you in the morning. He kind of like made himself like a coffee and then left. Maybe he's just not a morning guy. But you can find him in his office. It is his sort of office space is. It's one of your. It's basically your dad's old study. In fact, it is just your dad's old study. There's a bunch of your dad's old notebooks and stuff open on tables. There's like a couple of lounge chairs in the side. And as you kind of I can't talk. As you enter, Noctis is kind of like briefly reading over a passage in one of these books before he kind of looks up at you. And he's just like, "Oh, are you ready?"
Yes, I just, I didn't want to begin on an empty stomach. But are you?
No, I'm fine. I ate. I cannot do Noctis's voice tonight. I am so sorry. Noctis kind of gestures to one of the sort of chairs for you to sit down in. Noctis just kind of goes, "Okay, I have a couple of questions. First, what color is your blood?"
Currently,
I think Ramsey has specifically been avoiding looking. But I think part of him knows that it's not as red as it should be.
Okay, if you don't know, can I, like, prick your finger and check?
yes.
Okay. Noctis just kind of sighs and kind of walks over. And he has like a small kind of like medical needle in hand, and you see he's kind of shifted back to his total, like not to like his total humanoid form, because in this form he doesn't have his claws, though he's been walking around in his half lichen form with his like little dog ears and tail, which Rypley has kind of also been doing every now and then, but in this case he goes back to his complete humanoid form, takes a needle as he doesn't seem to, there is an air of cleanliness to him. He doesn't really want to like infect you with anything because he doesn't really know what the fuck's gonna happen. And he'll kind of reach a hand out, kind of like asking for your hand, kind of thing.
Ramsey, of course, does hold his hand out. Does his best to relax.
He kind of takes the needle and just gently kind of just like nicks like the top of one of your fingers, and you do see a little drop of red blood. It's just red, maybe darker than the last time you saw it, but it also could just be the lighting. And when Noctis sees that, you see him sigh. And he goes, "Damn. Hold on." And he kind of takes your wrist and he kind of begins to like almost like press on your wrist, kind of like trying to find your veins. And he's kind of like feeling up your arm a little bit as he's almost like he's searching for something. And he kind of like has his brow furrowed, like he's concentrated on this. And he kind of sort of tilts his head to the side, a bit confused, before he gets up and kind of lets your arm go and kind of goes to refer back to like a book that he has on a desk. He goes, "Okay. So something is definitely wrong, but that might be good."
Good. Okay. Now, I mean,
how do I describe this? You have only been really I imagine feeding off of animals. I smelt what you and Holly brought in earlier. I imagine that's what you're eating now.
Right. Yes.
On the vegan diet, you're not really drinking humanoid blood, I imagine. And because of that, you are in every way still yourself, which is a good thing. It's not a... how do I describe this? Ramsey, when you ate your father's heart, I really didn't know what was going to happen. Honestly, I just kind of wanted to give it to you to threaten you a little bit. But I realize now that actually it might have been the best case scenario. Because Rudolph was not a man. He was like an experiment. And, well, in the same way you and Damien are in every way possible. And he knew this. He's got notes and records of this. He knew what he was. But, I mean, that means that he had the same sort of essence that Alycia had. At least I imagine he did. But I don't know. Everything I'm reading is all maybes and ifs. Nothing's for certain.
Are you? I am not the man of science. This is very confusing to me. But I know what the vaccine is. Is that what you're trying to say?
Sort of. I could make a temporary vaccine for the Vesperians here. The ooze I found in Zemria, it's similar, but it doesn't have the same proteins, I guess. What the Vesperians seem to feed off and react to most is blood. Like vampires, I guess. I don't know. They react to that sort of... to death. And the ooze seem to have worked in some cases, but not all. It's not a cure, it's more like a... It's like feeding a town of thirsty people milk instead of water. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yes.
It's fine, but it's not going to solve the problem. What they need is that sort of essence from the source. But we don't have that because, well, I don't know where Alycia is. So.
I mean, I believe we have discussed slightly, but...
Well, okay. The abyss is a lot larger than just, I don't know, below us. Even if she did come back, I wouldn't give her an Emmet. I wouldn't give her Vesper anyway. A woman like that does not deserve the power that she built. That much is for sure. Respectfully. I
understand.
Yeah.
What's in my blood, is it? If we were to inject Vesperians with what's in me, could they subsist on animals? Would that be enough to help them?
But potentially. The only problem is, to be able to do that to your whole city, I'd have to run you dry. And that's even if I can find it. You might have two different bloodstreams in you. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to get to it. I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm trying, but.
Thank you.
It's fine.
I want to. No, I mean it. You've been putting in a lot of work. You didn't have to come here. You didn't have to accept Vesper as your responsibility in my stead, but you have, and for that, I can never repay you, but...
I didn't have to kill your father either, but I did. And I'm...
Well, yes.
I'm sorry for that, by the way.
Oh. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of time to think, and... As an older brother as well, I know what it's like losing a father.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I gave Bahamut your name. If something had happened, if you had died, if I had done that to Rypley, I never would have been able to forgive myself. I am sorry.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I probably would have done the same thing, but you guys don't have the record I do. It's fine.
I see why he's proud of you, you know.
Who?
Rypley.
Ripley's not proud of me.
Of the good man that he knows you can be, that you are becoming? I'm sure that he is. I just hope that you keep proving him right and me wrong.
I didn't expect you to get all sentimental like that. It's fine. One of us are gonna kill each other in a couple of days anyway, so yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Well then.
Anyway.
If you are reaching a dead end, there is one other man who has been researching anything to do with my condition, which does relate back to the Vesperian condition. Admittedly, I don't believe that Zareth is... Well, I'm afraid I may have fallen out of his good graces, so...
Really? Weren't you two like buddy-buddy?
I see so much for him. I see how he can be so kind and so insightful, and it's just... There are times at which his impatience frustrates me, and I think I may have made him think I don't value his opinion, which is not true. I will fix it. I will fix it.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you guys were so close. I mean, all right. But maybe it is for the best. Seraph is intelligent, of course, but he's... I don't know. If you wanted my opinion, he's always had something about him. There's something not right. It's like me, which you are all too familiar with. My affliction caused me to lash out back in Zemria. I can't take it back, and I can't be unaffected by it. But as long as I don't get consumed by my passions, things tend to work out fine for me. I get to keep my senses. Zareth, on the other hand, I don't know what makes him tick. I don't know what causes his, or what his affliction is. And it worries me. I would keep an eye on him if I was you. And Rypley, for that matter. I don't know what connection you guys have, if any at all. But the same entity that gave me my curse, I worry it'll be back for him. And Seraph.
I will fight as hard as I have to keep them safe.
I don't think that's a fight that you get to fight, Ramsey. Respectfully, the curse is not something that is just like you can fight off. It's something sewn into our souls. And I don't think, I hope that they're unaffected. But there's, I don't know, I get this sense, like a feeling in my gut, that something, the wrong turn, something might tick them off, and I don't know what it is, or how to prevent it. So, I wouldn't get close. Because if Seraph is affected by it, then not only is he not the Seraph you knew, but I don't think he'll be a Seraph that you want to know. And I know you're gonna say something all heroic or something, but in a serious sense, Zareth only managed to help my affliction so far. He's toned it down, numbed it to a sense. But I can still feel it. It scratches the back of my brain every time I look at something. I've locked away my tome just in case, but even so, it's there. I can feel it. You might actually have a beast like that inside you as well. You know the feeling, like it's scratching just at the back of your mind, whispering, begging to come out.
Yes. I can only say so much. We can only do so much.
Has it? Has your monster of sorts come out yet? I'm really not one to blame or judge you.
I'm afraid I've come far too close. Let's call this here. I will keep you posted. And I know that you will do the same.
Right. So I'm assuming you're not going to let me dig around your veins and find that black blood.
We can do that.
My theory into getting it, I don't think you'd like. And if you're not ready for that, then I'm not going to pressure you.
Does it involve cutting yourself in front of me again?
Well, I wasn't. That was not my intention. No. A little bit, I guess. Yeah, so it'd be something like that. Okay, well, now that you've brought that memory back to me, I'm starting to think against it. That was okay. Yeah, maybe you can go, and I'll think of something better. Okay. Well, at least it was fun.
If you ever tell Ripley, I will kill you.
I don't plan to. I'm pretty sure with what he already knows, he'd kill me if any more details came out about that. Okay. Honestly, I kind of had forgotten about that. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing research and I'll find something else to coax that blood out of you. Every time I open my mouth, I feel like I'm gonna make it worse now. Okay. No, just kind of turns away from you.
Yeah, Ramsey walks toward the door. Goodbye. And closes it.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like they did a lot more than.
No, they didn't. But I was about to say the phrase "release the beast," and then Caleb, had to stop myself in that moment because I was like, "No, I can't say that anymore."
God, the real reason, Ramsey and not just don't talk more. We can't let them fuck.
We cannot let them fuck. They would. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
They would.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you.
It is two men in a room who definitely want to fuck each other, but absolutely they don't want to fuck each other, but absolutely would. Every time they're in a room alone together.
You know, I was gonna do my traditional sappy Jegg Minecraft stuff. Ramsey leaves the room. He looks at the spell phone. He almost calls Zareth, but he doesn't. But that's no. We ended on the door.
We ended on them being like, oh yeah, that was a thing we did that one time. That was weird. All right. Anyway,
And scene. Thank you. I had fun.
Love that. Okay. I don't remember what I was gonna do next. Fucking. Are we gonna do? Zareth. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Jeez.
You are. Actually, give me 1 second. Let's take a brief hiatus. You can talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Riveting conversation.
I know, it's exhilarating. I'm fucking tired. Mm.
Yeah, I feel that. I also exhausted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm.
Yippee.
I'm gonna lay in bed. God damn it.
I know, right? And my bed's like right there. In theory, I could go lay down.
Yeah, but also, but in practice, you will not get back up.
That is completely correct. Yes, I would probably not awaken again.
Ever. You're dead. Heart stops. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Alright, I've returned from war.
Oh,
I feel like I'm running... I feel like I'm running on this game on like 32% battery. Less, maybe.
Hey.
What were we gonna do again?
I was gonna bug Yezer.
Ah, Yezer. Okay. Well, you got Raven's phone number.
I think he stares at it for a second, attempts to like think of a plan to do it without the cat boy getting involved, and then can't really think of anything because they don't really pray.
Yeah. Let's have a conversation with yourself. Anyway, yeah, you can ring him up. Also, I don't think Raven picks up the phone right away. I think he might pick it up on like the last ring. You almost think that he doesn't pick it. He's not gonna pick it up.
Oh shit! I gave Zareth a bad habit. I think if it gets to like it's been ringing for a while, he just like doesn't let it go through all the way. He just hangs up.
You created the character shitstorm that will last 7 years. This is what we're gonna do the rest of the session.
Well, okay, well, I guess Raven just calls you back then. It'd be like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, yeah.
Or
I had a
maybe
question.
he will. Yeah, whatever. Raven calls. What the fuck was that? Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I had a question for your grandfather. But
What?
you seem busy. Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Can I answer it for you?
How familiar are you regards of domains and separating living existences from the mortal plane?
Are we
Novice,
talking?
immediate, advanced.
Are we talking parallel dimensions or like different?
Creating a new one
planes?
from scratch.
Okay. So none.
Okay,
Like,
so
okay.
uneducated. Got it.
I'll
That's a
okay. I'll pass along the message though. And I think Raven just probably hangs up at that point, and you're left back in the library.
what worth a shot. Unless
Raven doesn't show up in Lunaris, but you do hear a voice in the back of your head. This time, a very familiar voice, as you've heard it plenty of times before. As Yozer responds, and he says, "Why are you so curious about creating your own plane now?"
Backup plan.
Playing God, I see.
Not playing God. No. But listen, if the mortal plane's gonna fall into oblivion because of a bunch of gods that I can do nothing about, it might be the responsible thing to make a new plane so they can continue existing, without us having to go up and doing shit. So
you want to make a parallel dimension of sorts. One
you know,
unafflicted
backup
by.
plan. Yeah, exactly. Backup plan.
Alright. I can help you. And kind of as he says that, the world kind of shifts from its sort of beautiful, colorful library to like a black and white. Almost as if like, your vision was turned into black and white for a moment. And you see kind of curling around from the sort of the exterior of your vision, kind of coming into the forefront, kind of sitting. I'm assuming you're sitting at like one of those tables in a library.
Yeah, probably.
The other comes and he sits across from you. Quinn, you're not invited into this. Zareth was talking to himself for a moment and then just kind of froze and stopped, and then his eyes like glazed over, and that's what you see. But Zareth, what you see is Yezer sits down across from you. Appearing as himself, because last time you spoke with him, it looked like Raven.
So you have ideas. Oh, that is wonderful news, because I honestly didn't know where to start.
You are
talking
to a god. So
yeah, I kind of forget that part about you. Full honesty.
That makes me feel so good about my power. Not to worry, though.
Oh,
Were you about to apologize?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I didn't realize that mattered to you all that much. You were never one for appearances. When did that change?
I'm not. It was sarcasm.
Forgive me, my head cold, brain fog.
I understand. Then you're in a perfect mindset to make a deal.
That sounds manipulative.
Okay. With my divine power, I will be willing to help you make this extra dimension as your second plan. Plan B of sorts. It'll be sort of waiting in the winds. And I'll leave you to the customization of it when the time comes. But in order for me to do such a big job for you, I'll need you to do some things for me.
Such as...
I think they'll align with your quests quite well.
That still doesn't answer what it is.
In order to, gain enough power to become, to sort of create a realm of its own, you'll need to gather the essences of some gods.
See what I can do.
Not
They
necessarily
don't seem super keen
them.
about separating from said essence, but I'll give it my best shot.
When a god ascends, they tend to leave behind an essence of their own, a permanent marker on this world. In fact, you've seen a couple of these marks here in Kildare already. Simply like a branch from the willow tree in Mimith, that in itself is an essence of a god. The Jegg tree, one covered in mass. If you took a root from that in itself would be an essence of the god.
Sure, I'll ask.
Hell, if you manage to ascend one. Of course, if ascension is not not in the books, killing them and taking it also works.
See what I can do.
It also works with your timeline of removing the cult from the equation and moving the gods on. You'll slowly over time, you'll take these aspects, give them back to me, and I'll begin to convert them for you. Is that alright?
Alright. Sure. I was gonna do this stuff anyway, but if I gotta collect some stuff to bring back to you, then that's cool.
You don't need to bring them back to me.
Probably.
I will find you. So, is that a deal that works well for you?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Yeser extends a hand to you.
How many of these said essences do you need? Because I don't know if I've got enough time to get every single outlier here.
A minimum of 3. I could even work with 2 if you're real passionate.
Alright. 2 seems doable. 3 if I've got the time.
I think I can work with that.
Alright. Got yourself a deal.
He holds out a hand to you. You see that sort of shadowy magic kind of like curling around his fingers.
Can I insight him to see if there's something else
Sure, go ahead.
that he hasn't told me?
Go ahead.
Alright, cool. My insight's alright, so let's try. It's an 18.
He's being honest with you. Everything. He hasn't lied to you. There's nothing he appears to be omitting from this. He will make you this dimension. He will help you with this. You just have to bring him back the essences. That.
Okay, he's got no alternative motive here then. Yeah.
Actually, honestly, truly none. So, do you take his hand?
Yeah.
You shake his hand, and there's kind of like a sort of itch, kind of at the back of your neck, and for a minute, and yes, it just kind of goes, apologies, being a god and such, there are certain rules I must abide by, but I promise you that none of them will affect you further. But if anybody asks, just say you're a follower of mine. An associate, if you don't want to go that far.
Yeah, sure. That's not any different than it was before.
Great. Then we have no issue. He smiles and nods and he goes, well, I'll be seeing you soon.
Is he wearing pants?
Yeah, he's wearing pants.
Sweatpants or pants?
He's wearing like a long sort of wizardy robe that's kind of more of a skirt. You're not really sure.
Those aren't real pants.
Shut up! He vanishes. He vanishes and the world returns to color. He's gonna go spill the tea to Raven. But
why do I feel like I got bamboozled?
Anyway, Quinn, I don't know if Steven's here. Did he get up? He mentioned dinner.
Here.
Oh, you are here. All right. You are here. You watched basically Zareth begin to talk to himself quietly, and then just completely zone out, and his head kind of lolled forward for a second, and eyes glazed over. Then he kind of like sat back upright, and just was bamboozled.
Was he like eyes glazed over for? Like, was that entire conversation actual time, or was it
I
like
would
a
say real
time?
time. Yeah, I'd say it's approximate real time. Like it
Okay,
was a couple of
okay,
minutes.
because I wanted to do something funny because he sat at the table, right?
Yeah.
I want to wave my hand in front of his eyes to see if he notices, and then when
None.
he doesn't, I want to spit down right across from right where Yezer would have been sitting.
Yeah, you sat right here. So if you wake up and where Yezer was is just Quinn now.
Yeah, I feel like I got it over. I can't put my finger on.
The back of your neck is itchy.
Just scratches it.
Because you weren't exactly present.
What do you mean? I done out all the time. Practically normal.
It's because there's something going on either in your mind or elsewhere.
I don't know. Got any guesses? If you're half right, I'll explain it.
Seeing that you were very deep in thought and essentially having a conversation with yourself in your head about a possible solution that you found.
Oh no, I haven't talked to myself in a very long time. No, I had a conversation with an old friend, and that's as far as I'll get into.
Does the old friend have any information that's helpful?
Yes and no. Well, the yes part of being useful is that I got my backup plan, which is fantastic. So happy to have the backup plan. The downside is I still have to go after gods, so that is unfortunate.
Say go after, do you mean that
I do.
ascension is out of the question, or just that needs to still be solved?
Well, technically Ascension would be fine. The only thing is figuring out which gods are deserving of Ascension. Because once they're ascended, they're kind of a forever thing. Like, their influence is a permanent mark on the world, so, like, gotta be a little more careful about that. And I guess it helps that I only have to do, what, 2, 3 if I have the time, instead of how many were there? 8?
Something like that, I believe. So, why do you only have to do 2 or 3?
I sell the power I need to make a new dimension and just piece out of this one. Should be able to make one long enough to have quite a few survivors. So if all fails, well then existence doesn't end. It's just gonna be a lot more cramped. But better than nothing.
Like a magical world-destroying bomb bunker that
Jeez.
we would then emerge from after the whole cataclysmic event.
Yeah, something like that. It at least ensures that there's some survivors instead of just that being it. You know, I don't have the most confidence that we are going to be able to do what we need to do to fully save the world. I'll be fully real. And on top of that, what the others decided to do has made it a lot more difficult. They put us front and center and told all the churches that what we plan to do if the gods are not ascended in time. So not only do we have to fight gods, we have to fight their churches now, which is why I separated from them personally. Not looking to fight a church and a god. That's a lot of work and a lot of unnecessary death.
That is not hopefully the reason that I parted will help ease that a little bit. Do you have a rough estimate of what percentage of the world populace would be savable in this dimension bunker?
Well, with the power of 2 gods, I should be able to save a small city's worth. Maybe. Maybe a little bit more. If I get all 3
And
gods, then I might be able to save more people. But again, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be able to save the world. I'll be fully real. Maybe I can get Kildura if I'm lucky.
we're talking most likely a fraction of a percentage.
Yeah, that's about right. But better than nothing, which is what it's looking like if we fail. So even if we fail, we now have a small fraction of people that will continue to live on. Which makes me a little more comfortable, I guess.
One hand, it's nice to have a backup, but on the other, knowing that our backup is so minimal, I feel like there's a lot more pressure to succeed now.
But sorry, I'm not going to be able to save, what is it, a couple trillion people or worldwide? I don't know if you realize this, but to cover that large of mass would probably end the world then and there anyways, so...
I'm aware it's... I mean, I do wonder if there's other people who could do the same as you, and if we could at least save the majority, but that would require getting in communication with them, finding
That's
people
assuming
powerful
everyone's
enough.
cooperative. I don't know if you know this about people, but they're not usually very cooperative, especially if you're not a credible source that they've learned to trust. So, I'm just taking who I can. As long as one system is set up, then we can probably look into setting more up and attempting to save more people. But having at least one system set up it brings me some comfort. If we could save everyone, fantastic, but I'm not liking the odds of it.
I guess we'll just have to twist those odds to be better.
Do our best, but that doesn't mean we're going to find the solution for 8 different gods, and that's assuming that all of their ideals are worth keeping in the world and not actively bringing it harm or causing mischief. And then even then, who's to say that we're right?
I will say, Quinn, you know you with your research that you've done and what you've learned so far, you would know that if the gods die, their domains still exist in the world. So it's not getting rid of them completely.
So, quick question regarding that. So, if they're ascended, then they stay that god evermore.
Yes.
But if
Yeah,
they're killed, their domain
thing
stays, and seemingly, eventually, another god kind of fills that role
Yes.
Yeah,
and takes
yes.
over that domain.
a new idea takes over, and
Yeah.
it's like
a new
switched up a little
vision,
bit.
a new vision, in a sense.
So it's kind of like the different variations of different gods that we've got, because we've got like I'm thinking of like Christian mythology, where you've got like book 1, and then you got like a different translation where it feels different, and then you got another translation that feels even more different, or like even with Greek mythology, you've got translation 1, translation 2, like all different ideas depending on
Yeah,
what
I
the
was
translator
gonna
is
say, like,
attempting to do.
I feel like a good way to interpret it would be kind of like looking at the Greek gods versus the Roman gods and how there's so many that are the
Yeah.
same, just very different ideals
Exactly.
and names
Yeah,
and
that's
otherwise.
Or like,
Yeah.
just even different people translating it from different times. Like they're trying to
Mhm.
push different ideas.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They take a different meaning from it, and
Exactly.
the story takes on a new meaning, even though it's the same story. It's just they're telling it a different way.
So, from what I looked into, it does seem that if a god is killed, the domain does stay. Eventually, another entity will take over that domain.
Alright, so if a god is less than satisfactory, it's probably best to, unless we want to be stuck with their idea of the domain that they rule. Understood. Okay, fantastic. I love being in this much control of things. This is definitely the place I want to be. I hate this so much.
Part of me wonders if it's worth even considering tampering with it, or if we should focus on trying to ascend all of them, regardless of their ideals, because maybe the reason
but then you're
that
stuck
some
with
have,
them.
but I'm wondering if there's almost like a balance system in place. This is my own question at this point, but
Not sure. Gods seem to have their own temperaments. I mean, look at Bahamut. You really think that him being properly ascended is going to be a good thing? You think it's going to be better? I don't. I think he's going to stay that way. Got
my
one
primary
example of a
concern.
god that didn't change at all from how he was in life. That's Yeza. 0 changes. How they are now is how they will be ascended.
My one concern is
Guaranteed.
if we try to be choosy, kill off gods that don't fit what we see as the ideal version of themselves and their domain. It's possible that in trying to tamper with that, some whatever force or whatever determines who takes that place, there might be a balance where if we try to create as many positive deities as possible, the negative ones will just get worse and worse.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
It's something I'd at least like to see if we can find someone who might be able to answer the question before we consider being all picky and choosy about who we kill and who we ascend.
No, you got a good point. Hey, Yazla, you still around?
Well, actually, there is one person who might have a better sense of that. And it's a name that actually did come up the last time Yezer was around. Pud.
Is it bad?
Heading to Tawoof, yeah. Heading to Tawoof and meeting up with Pud is a really good idea.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We will, in fact, get to it.
That is a name that you guys can kind of like put together. Yezer does not reappear. By the way, you call out for him. He does not give enough of a shit to reappear.
It was not.
Respectfully, nah. All right. Anyway,
We know one powerful cleric that might have the answer, but like,
It's
I'm sure
at
they'll
least
get
worth
to it
inquiring about.
soon. But yeah, no. As long as we kill 2 of the gods, at least some people will survive.
Or ascend.
Deal with. Or whatever that means that will happen, be it killing or ascending. And that's assuming we can figure out how the fuck to do either.
We have some information on how to ascend. don't we?
Well, sure, you take their ideals and twist it to the opposite of how it normally would be, and that's how you deal with them. But
Some of
that
those
doesn't
aren't
mean we're
that
gonna
difficult.
come across the proper twist of the ideal. Like,
It's
you
there.
have a Bahamut justice. How the fuck do you twist that? Injustice? He's already portraying that, so shouldn't he be fucking dead? Makes no sense.
Some will surely be easier than others.
Anyway,
I think
don't
Jaeger and
deal with-
Desmos might be the two easiest. If that's the case, that gives you your 2 Xerath.
Sorry, which two?
Desmos, God of Fire, and Jaeger, God of the Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe Musa.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Musa for the third one.
User doesn't seem too difficult.
Yeah, I think those 3 might be the easiest. I think.
Thinking of the gods, I know that the Jaeger clan is working on ascending their god. So that might be one, so long as I'm nearby enough to collect the essence and return it to the...
Just ask Rypley if you can hang out. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, Ripley and I are on speaking terms right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cackling.
Above table, I do have an idea for Sniffrin. It's just probably not going to work. It's a very dumb idea.
I would love to hear it.
I'll DM you later.
Please DM me. But yeah.
Well, the other one would be the easiest. It doesn't matter. I still have to focus on Crown.
And you guys can head to go speak to Crown. Probably like next week. I don't know. We're at like the 2-hour mark, and I'm quite happy with leaving it there. We started early. 3 of us are sick. I'm tired, and my brain is like non-functioning. No, I don't want to play a bad guy right now. I did all I wanted to do for this session. I'm happy.
I had fun.
I had more planned, but I don't have the energy right now. So, this is all an illusion. I'm wearing makeup. I'm wearing makeup. I'm not wearing makeup. That was a lie. I just lied to you. Anyway, get in here so we can raid. Yay! Raid.
Is your makeup
raid,
white
raid.
face with red nose?
Oh my god. Let's raid Mischief! Let's raid Mischief.
Hell yeah!
Let's raid Mischief. Oh my god. I can't. My throat hurts so bad right now, guys. I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed.
I agree.
I'm gonna go to bed, guys. I love you. Thanks for sticking it out with me. I'm going to bed. 3, 2, 1, everybody say bye. 3, 2, 1, everybody say bye. Bye.